Hello, everyone. I'm Christina Giordano, the founder of Sold, your go-to resource for soulful entrepreneurship. And my philosophy is this: people can no longer be sold to, they must be sold to. This is selling with soul. This is marketing with integrity, where you no longer need to compromise your authenticity, your boundaries, your uniqueness, your wholeness. This is messaging in a way that actually reflects the transformation you provide because it's your story, your transformation, and nobody can compete with that. This is monetizing yourself in a way that honors your fullness, all of the pieces and parts of you that are meant to be divinely resourced. Join me every Wednesday to learn all of this and more. Let's jump right in. I want to start this podcast with a thank you to everyone who listened to last week's episode, episode number 17. It was a lot. It was a lot to share. It was, and even though I didn't go into tremendous detail, it was still a lot for me. I don't typically share this much. And so I do want to thank everyone for the love that I received as a result of sharing that. And also for the support. For the support, I had more listens than ever for that episode. And so I'm grateful to you. I'm grateful to my communities, and I'm grateful to Sold for getting me here. And so today, this episode is diving more into the calling. And I'm going to talk about why this is so imperative and why this is important. But what I want to convey here today is that the work of Sold, this work is for you if you find that you have a calling, not a job. I also want to say, I hope that I sound a little less nasally today. I think I'm on the other side of whatever was going on with my nasal cavity, but I should be sounding a lot better today. So I appreciate your patience with me if I still sound a little funny. So let's talk about my career path or my calling, shall we? So I graduated from DePaul University. That's DePaul with a W, not the L in Chicago. DePaul with a W in Greencastle, Indiana. I graduated with a bachelor in communications and felt that marketing was just the next step for me based on my degree and also my interests. And so after college, I started working as a marketing consultant at a clinical massage therapy school. Now, I had absolutely no interest in massage or any clue what I was doing, but I graduated in 2009, right after the recession. The job market was an absolute disaster. And the owner of the school happened to be a family friend, a connection through my family. And so it worked out. And while there, I learned about the massage trade, of course, and the behind the scenes administrative production of it all. And I started to appreciate both the practice and purpose of massage, but also the way that it allowed people to choose this vocation and really create a new life for themselves on their terms. And all of this, everything that I'm going to talk about today, and this in particular, is going to kind of convey how little bits and pieces of my calling came through to me. And what drew me to this was an aspect of my calling, the entrepreneurial aspect of it. I was rooting for these people, the graduates who cared so deeply about their work and worked so hard to get where they were. They had truly found their calling. And the other part that drew me closer to my calling was the health and wellness industry in general. I absolutely loved the industry, what it stood for, how it could help you transform, change, heal, become greater. This was absolutely the industry I knew that I would be linked to going forward. It was the industry that I absolutely wanted to serve. And as I progressed through this career, I was promoted multiple times until finally I was managing the marketing department. And it was at this point when I realized I could do this on my own. And so in November of 2012, I quit. But I didn't start my own business right away. Of course. That's not how these things go over here. I job searched for a solid 6 months. I think it was a mix of self-doubt and uncertainty for the future. And I didn't believe that I had what it took to start my own business. But as time went on and I wasn't landing a job, it started to become more of a final option for me. At this point, my savings were starting to dwindle and I really had to find something fast. And so this was another step towards my calling, the divine timing of it all. Everything that was not working, everything that was working, but also everything that was not working. It's the paradox of it. And I knew deep down that I'd hate working for someone. And I knew that I needed my own process, my own rules, my own way of doing things. And so in June of 2013, I took on a kind of let's do this attitude and decided to start my business, Christina Giordano Consulting. I got the LLC, the website, and it all happened very quickly. People found out I was starting my business and referred me to others. I landed my first clients. And I thought to myself, wow, maybe I can really do this. So, fast forward, and after spending years working with every industry imaginable and offering every service possible, I finally started to realize what I really enjoy doing in this field. And that was teaching people to market themselves. And this was part of my calling. It would show up every so often in the moments when I was doing just that, teaching people how to market themselves. And also in the moments when I was really resentful of the work that I didn't want to do. So when I was marketing for them, again, it's that paradox, that the contrast of what is aligned and what isn't. It was showing up for me. And I couldn't stand it because I never had, nor would I ever have, the same passion that they had for their work. And so I couldn't convey that in my marketing for them. I couldn't share it for them. They had to do it themselves. And the marketing approach that I wanted to teach was definitely a more heart centered and soulful approach. However, at this time, nobody was really talking about soulful approaches to life the way that we do now. So I kind of just, I taught marketing in a way that simply made it more palatable. And things really started to shift for me when I began to truly align with specific types of offerings and certain types of clients. It wasn't until 2020 when I got really clear and way more convicted about my calling. And it was that year when I channeled the life method and then the soul method and then the love method. So these methods are acronyms and they would become the foundation of my business and everything that I do. And for those who don't know, the purpose of the life method is to help you to define the desired life you are marketing, which, and the life acronym itself stands for lifestyle, identity, feelings, and expression. The purpose of the soul method, which is also an acronym, is to help you define the transformation you provide, the things that you've overcome by connecting the dots from your past to your present. And then finally, the love method, which is also an acronym, helps you define those needle moving principles of your business so that you can move forward with a rock solid foundation. Now, all of these methods are roadmaps back to your soul. They are not my way of doing things, but yours. You quite literally use them to discover your true and soulful messaging and marketing strategy. This is why it's so imperative that you feel that your work is your calling because it needs to be rooted within you. Now, I help get to the truth of your heart as it relates to the strength of your work. So, in other words, I help people get to the heart of what they do. And what I have found is that most of the clients that I'm drawn to and those who are drawn to me are the ones who feel that their soul path and their career path are intertwined. These are the people who are helping others transform. They're helping them heal themselves. They're helping them achieve greatness. So it's no longer a career or work, it's truly a calling. And now let me kind of go to the other side of this. Let me talk about my soul path. I am incredibly empathetic. I can feel subtle shifts of energy. And the more in tune that I am with this, the more I can really read and feel and understand people. But let me talk about truth for a moment. For most of my life, I struggled with understanding my own truth. For the most part, I let people tell me the truth about who I am. I had a hard time sticking up for myself growing up. I was painfully shy. I was an easy target with bullies. I never wanted to use my voice. I wanted to make myself smaller and smaller. I think you can see where this is going. Because as I healed my traumas and my attachments and released old identities and connected with my inner child and my innate gifts and my abilities, I started to see my truth a lot more because I was seeing myself more clearly. And with everything that I've been through, which of course includes what you learned in last week's episode, and I mean, I'm sure we all have been there, and this could be an entire episode in and of itself. I learned to believe myself. I learned to believe in myself. And that's one of the unique gifts that I bring to the table, whether it's in my free workshop or in my group workshop series or in my one-to-ones. I help people generate the faith they need in order to market themselves and build their businesses and persevere. And so there's a mirror effect going on when you work with me. I see you in ways that perhaps you haven't seen before, and I shine a light on them. So in my work, I like to say that I free you from what I feel is an outdated and broken approach to marketing so that you can talk about what you do in a way that is so rooted within you, it simply radiates from you. And this in turn helps you show up in a way that is a lot more aligned and embodied. Because let's be real, you're not going to show up to market yourself if you're not aligned to what you're saying and how you're saying it. When you work with me, you will no longer need to sell things like your credentials, the overarching benefits, the modalities you use, or the industry itself. You get to sell what matters to you so much about what you do. And this is what makes selling, soulful selling, easy, exciting, ethical, and effective. And what my work keeps showing me over and over again is that the way that you are aligned to your work is directly related to how your audience is aligned to your work. The spark that they feel when they resonate with you is the exact same spark that makes you come alive when you're doing what you do. And so this is what I bring out of people. This is what I bring out of people in my work, in my group work, in my one-to-ones, in my self-study, in all of the offerings that you'll find on my get guidance page of my website. So if you have a calling within your work and you're not feeling aligned to how you market yourself, you were meant to market yourself in a different way, in a way that is more soulful. And this is what happened to me. I got to the truth of who I am and what I stand for and the ways that I am meant to serve others. And it makes me come alive over and over and over again. The same is possible for you too. So to learn more about my offerings, again, I mentioned this, you can head to the Get Guidance page of my website, or you can check out the next free workshops I have happening in person and online. This information is also available on my website. That's all I have for today. Until next time, be well and take care.